Welcome back, brothers and sisters. Before we jump in, there's a timestamp on the screen directing you to the first chapter of Meditations. Feel free to use it, but I'd advise giving this short intro a listen. It'll prime you for Marcus Aurelius, ensuring you truly grasp the depth of his wisdom rather than finding it monotonous. Imagine stumbling upon the diary of a great Roman emperor. It's intimate, scattered, brimming with recurring thoughts, echoing Stoic ideals. That's Meditations, a series of personal notes, not intended for our eyes, but written for Marcus Aurelius himself, to reflect, realign, and reinforce his commitment to Stoic virtues. While not a structured treatise, it's uniquely a meditative mantra, often revisiting themes for deeper introspection. Many parts may seem repetitive, but that's at the point of a meditative work. Nestled in these words are golden nuggets of wisdom, like hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. The beauty of Meditations lies in its dual approach, a soothing meditative audiobook and a historical window into Stoicism. If time is your constraint, Chapter 8 might be your best pit stop, a concise encapsulation of his philosophy. While I, personally, might not be entirely on board with every facet of Stoicism, there's undeniable value in Marcus Aurelius's Meditations that resonates even today. It's a journey through the emperor's spontaneous streams of thought, occasionally disjointed but rich in wisdom. Crafting videos like this demands a week of full-time commitment, so if this enlightens or benefits you, perhaps consider supporting us, either right here on YouTube or our Patreon. The link's in the description. Without further ado, let's delve into the profound mind of Marcus Aurelius. Meditations by Marcus Aurelius Antoninus. Book 1, Gratitude and Reflections. Navigating Life's Gifts. From my grandpa Varus, I picked up solid values in how to control my mood. My dad's legacy taught me humility and a strong, grounded personality. Mom showed me the importance of kindness, spirituality, and keeping my thoughts clean. She also taught me to live simply, not chasing after flashy lifestyles. My great-grandpa emphasized the value of home education and splurging on good teachers. My mentor told me not to pick sides at public games or get too involved in gossip. He showed me the value of hard work, needing little and minding my own business. Dionysus taught me not to sweat the small stuff or buy into tall tales from magicians. He got me into philosophy and had me write my thoughts down when I was younger. He also made me appreciate the simple things in life. From Rusticus, I understood I had a lot to work on personally. He taught me to stay true, avoid show-off behavior, and be genuine in my writings and actions. He introduced me to Epictetus's teachings. Apollonius showed me how to stick to my goals and always focus on logical thinking. He was a living proof of staying steady through thick and thin, emphasizing that knowing and teaching were secondary to being a good person. Sextus was all about kindness and leading by example. He taught me to live naturally, care for friends, and be patient with those who don't think things through. His presence was comforting, and he had a knack for organizing life's big lessons without being showy about his wisdom. From Alexander, the grammar teacher, I learned not to nitpick or correct someone in a rude way if they used weird or incorrect language. Instead, smoothly use the right word or phrase in conversation, focusing on the topic and not the error. Fronto showed me what jealousy, deceit, and fake attitudes looked like in powerful people. He also hinted that those we see as high society often lack genuine warmth and love. Alexander the philosopher taught me not to constantly tell people I'm busy as an excuse. We shouldn't keep justifying neglecting those close to us by always claiming to be swamped with work. From Catullus, I learned the value of not brushing off a friend's criticisms. Always be appreciative of good teachers and truly adore your kids. My bro, Severus, taught me the power of family love, truth, and fairness. Through him, I got to know about iconic thinkers and leaders. He also made me visualize a society where everyone's equal and there's true freedom. He always remained loyal to his beliefs, was generous, and never hid his true feelings, making it clear where he stood on issues. From Maximus, I picked up on self-control and staying focused. He always carried a positive vibe, even when sick. He blended kindness and authority perfectly. People always believed he was sincere. He never seemed surprised, rushed, or flustered. He didn't hide his frustrations behind fake laughter or let anger cloud his judgment. His kind acts were natural, and he made people feel valued. Everyone around him felt he was unwavering in his principles and genuinely liked him for his humor and authenticity. I learned a lot from my dad. He was patient, but when he made a decision, he stuck to it. He didn't boast or fish for compliments. He valued hard work, took time to listen to anyone with a good idea for the community, and always played fair. He knew when to step up and when to lay low. He wasn't swayed by short-lived trends or gossip, treated himself as an equal to others, and wasn't high maintenance with his friends. He was super thorough in his decisions, didn't judge by first impressions, and was loyal to his buddies without being overly clingy. He always looked at the bright side and was pretty good at anticipating stuff way before it happened. He kept the empire's needs in check, budgeted smartly, and didn't sweat the small stuff, even when folks criticized him. He was down to earth, wasn't swayed by fancy trends, and used what he had without flaunting or craving more. No one could label him as a know-it-all or a show-off. He was respected as wise and could handle his own and others' business efficiently. He appreciated real intellect and wasn't fooled by posers. Conversations with him were easy, and he never tried too hard to impress. He took care of his health in a balanced way, not out of vanity, but so he rarely needed a doctor. He celebrated others' talents without being jealous and promoted them to shine in their field. He respected traditions without making a big show of it. He wasn't about switching things up constantly and found comfort in familiarity. He'd bounce back from his rare sick days and get right back to work. He didn't have secrets, was practical about spending, and prioritized actions over public opinion. He wasn't picky about the minor details like food or fashion. His style was simple and usually sourced locally. He had a down-to-earth moment with a toll collector once, showing his humble side. There was no drama with him. He was steady and methodical. He had the rare ability to resist temptations but also indulge without overdoing it. Basically, he was mentally rock solid, even when facing challenges, like during Maximus's sickness. I'm super grateful for a family that's been solid, awesome grandparents, parents, sis, teachers, and friends. And man, I'm lucky that even with my impulses, I never really screwed up with any of them. Oh, the universe just had my back, I guess. Big shout out for not growing up too twisted around my granddad's girlfriend and for not getting caught up in things before I was ready. And my dad? Total MVP for showing me you can be equal, king-like and still keep it real. And my brother? A legend. His vibe always kept me grounded and he showed mad love and respect. I'm blessed my kids are cool and healthy. I'm glad I didn't dive too deep into artsy stuff like poetry, which could have been a major distraction. I'm stoked I managed to show appreciation to those who raised me right away, instead of stalling. And meeting folks like Apollonius, Rusticus, and Maximus, total game changers. They drilled into me the whole live authentically thing. Honestly, if I'm not living 100% true, it's on me, not the universe. I'm kind of amazed my body's been cool despite my crazy lifestyle. Dodged some bullets in love, healed from some wild passions, and even when Rusticus and I butted heads, I never did something dumb out of spite. My mom passed young, but those final years with her were precious. Every time I wanted to help someone out or make a difference, I had the means to do it. And my wife? She's a gem. Loyal, loving, and straightforward. Super thankful for the great teachers for my kids and for those freaky useful dreams that gave health advice. Yeah, weird but true. And thank God when I dabbled in philosophy, I didn't end up with some phony guru or waste time on pointless debates or stargazing stuff. That would have needed some serious divine intervention. Book 2, Guiding Principles, Living Authentically in a Chaotic World. Start your day expecting to bump into some difficult folks, the gossips, the thankless, the cocky, the two-faced, the jealous, the antisocial. They act this way because they don't really get what's good and what's not. But me? I've seen what's truly good and what's bad, and I realize that even the ones who mess up are kind of like me. We're all connected, not just by family, but by being part of this universe, sharing its energy. They can't bring me down because I won't let their negativity stick. Why would I get mad or hate them? We're all in this together, like feet, hands, eyes, or teeth working in sync. Getting mad at each other. That's just unnatural. So what am I? A bit of meat, some breath, and my consciousness. Enough with the endless reading and distractions. Act like time's running out. That flesh, it's just a mix of blood, bones, and tissues. That breath, just air in and out. And that conscious part, remember, you're not young anymore. Don't let it be controlled by every whim. Don't whine about the now or fear what's next. Everything that happens is part of a grand plan. Even what seems random is connected to the bigger picture. Everything's flowing from a source, and it's all for the universe's benefit, which, by the way, includes you. What's good for the universe is good for you. The universe keeps going thanks to changes, both big and small. These ideas, hold on to them. Put that craving for more knowledge. Let it go. Live your life thankful and in peace, not lost in books. Realize you've been procrastinating forever. The universe has given you so many chances, and you keep missing out. Recognize where you fit in the big picture, and know there's a clock ticking. If you don't clear out the mental fog now, time will pass, and so will you. Every moment be your best self. Do what's right with grace, love, freedom, and fairness. Get rid of distractions. Live every moment as if it's your last. No drama, no going against your better judgment, no faking it, and no fussing over what you've got. Look at how simple life can be. Do these things, and you'll find peace, and the universe, or the gods if you prefer, will ask nothing more of you. Look, if you mess up, it's on you, not anyone else. You're missing out on giving yourself the respect you deserve. Everyone has a limited time here, and yours is ticking away. Instead of relying on others for happiness, find it within yourself. Distracted by all the noise outside, take a moment, learn something new, something meaningful, but don't swing the other way either. Don't become that person who's always busy, but directionless. Honestly, not knowing someone else's thoughts rarely makes someone unhappy, but not understanding your own thoughts and feelings. That's a recipe for misery. Remember this: understand the bigger picture and your role in it. Understand yourself and know how you fit into this vast universe. And always remember, no one is stopping you from living true to yourself. Theophrastus once broke it down like this: mistakes made because of desire are worse than those made out of anger. Think about it. Getting angry can happen in the heat of the moment, like a knee-jerk reaction, while chasing desires is a conscious choice. So it's kind of like saying someone acting out of pleasure is less controlled than someone reacting to pain. It's a perspective thing, but the idea is that there's more blame when you know you're doing wrong and still go for it. Imagine if this was your last day on Earth. would you act differently? If you believe in a higher power, then leaving. This world isn't scary because they've got your back. If there aren't any gods, or if they're not watching, then what's the big deal of a godless universe? But personally, I think they're out there, and they've given us the tools to avoid life's major pitfalls. Everything else, like death, pain, or even honor, affects everyone equally, regardless of being good or bad. These things don't change who we are, so they're neither good nor bad by themselves. Isn't it wild how quickly things fade? Whether it's physical stuff or just memories, everything seems to have an expiration date. When you really look at the things we crave or fear or want to be remembered for, they all seem kind of trivial when you zoom out. I mean, it's all about perspective, right? Think about who decides what's cool or important. It's all so temporary. And death, if you break it down and strip away the drama, it's just a natural process. It's part of life's cycle. Getting scared of it is like being afraid of growing up. It's just a phase of existence. There's something sad but also kind of funny about people who are always poking their noses into everything, trying to figure out what everyone else is thinking or what's hidden below the surface. Why go through all that when you've got this inner voice, your own guide, right inside of you? Respecting that voice means keeping it clear from drama and negative vibes. It means recognizing the beauty in what life or fate brings our way and showing love for our fellow humans, flaws and all. Some folks might be lost, not knowing right from wrong, but that's just another reason to be understanding. After all, no one's perfect. Imagine you had 3,000 years to live, or even 10 times that. Remember that the life you're living right now is the only one you truly have. Whether it's a century or an eternity, the experience feels the same. You can't lose your past or future since you never really owned them. So 2 takeaways here. Life's patterns repeat themselves endlessly, and whether you live long or short, you only have the present. Get this, everything is about perspective. Monimus the Cynic had a point about that. Understanding this means grasping the truth within it. Your mind can do some self-harm in several ways. 1. Feeling bitter about the universe's events separates you from the grand scheme of things. 2. If you harbor anger or aim to hurt someone, you're doing your soul no favors. 3. Letting pleasure or pain control you, not a great move. 4. Being fake, acting without sincerity, that's damaging. 5. Doing things without a clear goal, even the tiny stuff, isn't the best. We should always be purposeful, as our goal as thinking beings is to live rationally. Life's fleeting. Your time on earth is but a speck. The physical world, always changing. Our perception, often not sharp. Our bodies, they don't last forever. Our souls, they're like storms, always shifting, predicting life, almost impossible. And fame, super unpredictable. Summing it up, everything physical flows and changes. The soul's experiences are fleeting dreams. Life is a challenge, a brief stopover, and what comes after is quickly forgotten. What can guide us? Just one thing, philosophy. It's about staying true, undamaged, understanding both pain and pleasure, and living sincerely without relying on others. Accept whatever life throws at you, knowing it's part of the big picture. And when it comes to the end, welcome it. It's just the universe reshuffling its cards. And if the universe does it, it's natural and there's nothing wrong with that. Book 3. Appreciating life and nature's nuances. We often forget that our time is ticking away, and what's left becomes shorter with every day. But there's another thing we don't always think about. As we age, who knows if our minds will stay sharp? It's not just about living longer. It's about staying mentally fit. As we get older, basic desires and functions might remain, but our ability to think deeply, to understand the world around us, and to self-reflect might fade. The clarity to recognize when it's our time to exit the stage might diminish, so we shouldn't just worry about time running out, but also about our minds losing their edge. Time to seize the day, right? It's pretty cool to notice that even the unexpected outcomes in nature have their own beauty. Take bread, for example. Ever notice those cracks on a fresh loaf? Those weren't intended, but they have a unique charm and make you want to bite. Ripe figs split open when they're ready to eat. Overripe olives, even when they're almost gone bad, have this special allure. The drooping stalks of mature grains, the intense gaze of a lion, or even the foam on a wild boar's mouth, they all have a unique kind of beauty. On their own, they might not seem impressive, but as part of nature's design, they're captivating. A person who really gets nature will see beauty in almost everything. They'll see art in the fierce, open mouth of a beast, just as they would in a painting. They'll find elegance in both the elderly and the vibrancy of youth, seeing everything through a pure, unbiased lens. It's all about perspective and truly connecting with the world around us. Hippocrates, who healed so many, eventually got sick and passed away. Those Chaldea who predicted many deaths, they also met their end. Big names like Alexander, Pompeius, and Caesar, who conquered cities and defeated armies, they too checked out. Heraclitus, known for his theories about the universe, died in an ironic way. Lice took out both Democritus and Socrates. What's the point? Life has its cycle. You're born, you live, and then you exit, if there's another life after this call. If not, at least you won't be bothered by life's ups and downs anymore. Don't spend the rest of your days obsessing over others, especially if it's not productive. Every time you're caught up in someone else's business, you miss out on your own stuff. Why care about what someone's saying, thinking, or doing? Focus on what you can control. Your thoughts should be so pure that if someone were to ask what's on your mind, you'd have no hesitation in sharing. You'd be proud of your thoughts. Be that person who stands out as kind, focused, and free from petty concerns. Such a person is a beacon of integrity, totally in tune with their inner self, immune to life's trivialities. They're genuinely just and accept life as it comes, without being nosy about what others are up to. Remember, you're related in some way to every human being, so be kind by default. Appreciate those who live a good life by nature's standards. As for the rest, understand that they might be battling their own demons, so their praise or criticism shouldn't bother you. When you work, do it with purpose and keep in mind the bigger picture. Don't get lost in the little stuff or be that person who's all talk, no action. Let the best part of you, your inner strength, guide you. Stand tall, not because others hold you up, but because you can hold yourself up. Life's ups and downs, face them with a smile, and don't always lean on others for that peace of mind. If you come across anything in life more precious than being just, honest, disciplined, and resilient, go for it. But if the best thing you've got is that inner voice guiding you rightly, that voice that helps you master your desires and critically assesses situations, the one that's in sync with the universe and genuinely cares for others, prioritize it. If you let external things like public opinion, power, or pleasure cloud that voice, you're on a slippery slope, so always choose what's best for your rational self. And if you're confused, ask, is this good for the thinking me or just the feeling me? Avoid stuff that forces you to compromise on your values, that makes you lose respect for yourself, resent others, or play pretend. If you're genuinely guided by wisdom and integrity, you won't need drama, you won't crave attention or fear being alone. Plus, the thought of death, it won't bug you. Whether you're here for a long or short time, you'll live with purpose, ensuring that every moment aligns with the qualities of a thoughtful and community-conscious individual. In someone who's truly got their act together, you won't find any hidden mess or drama. Their life feels complete, even if they check out before their time, kind of like an actor exiting before the play's climax. You won't find them being fake, overly attached, or too distant from things. They're just straightforward and genuine with no dark secrets. Value the way you form opinions. That's what decides if you're thinking in line with what's natural and logical. Doing this ensures you're not quick to judge, keeps you cool with people, and in harmony with the universe. Look, strip things back and focus on the essentials. Remember, we're all just living in the present moment. The past is gone, and the future, well, it's unpredictable. Our time here is brief, and the world not that big. And talking about being remembered, that's short-lived too, passed on by folks who will also soon be gone, who barely know themselves, let alone someone from ages ago. Here's a hack: whenever something's bugging you, break it down. What is it at its core? Label it, understand it fully, and see its place in the grand scheme of things. Look at the big picture. What's the world like, and how does everything fit? And with respect to us humans, who are like citizens of this massive global city, understand its value, figure out what response it demands from you, be it patience, bravery, honesty, loyalty, simplicity, or contentment, and remind yourself this situation might be part of a bigger plan, or maybe it's just fate playing its part, and that person causing you grief, they're just like you, but maybe they're clueless about what's right. You, on the other hand, so treat them with kindness and fairness, and always weigh the true significance of things. If you focus on the task at hand, using sound judgment, and doing it wholeheartedly, without distractions, and if you keep your conscience clean, as if you'd have to account for it any time, then you'll be content. And trust me, nobody can stop you from feeling that way. Think of it like this: just as doctors always have their tools ready for emergencies, you should always have your core values at the ready. They're vital to both your personal and spiritual life. You can't excel in the human realm without acknowledging the spiritual, and vice versa. Don't drift aimlessly. You won't have forever to reflect on your past or delve into the classics you've kept for later. Get to your life's purpose, drop the wishful thinking, and help yourself out, especially when you have the means to. Some people don't grasp the depth behind words like stealing or seeing. Seeing isn't just about the eyes, it's a deeper understanding. Let's break it down. Body feels, soul desires, and the mind rationalizes. All creatures can feel, even animals desire. Well, even the most unruly, or those who've lost their way, have that. And using reason, even the skeptics and those who betray others have it. What sets a truly good person apart is their ability to accept what life throws at them and to maintain inner peace. They won't let their inner divinity be tainted with negative thoughts or chaos. They'll always strive for truth and justice. Even if others doubt their authenticity, they stay true to their path, unwavering. They approach life's end with a calm spirit, ready and at peace with their journey. Book 4. Finding Inner Tranquility. Our inner self has this cool trait. When aligned with our true nature, it adapts to whatever life throws at us. Think of it like a roaring fire. A small flame might get snuffed out with a little wind, but a strong fire, it uses challenges to burn brighter. Whatever you do, have a reason for it. Aim for perfection, always. You know how people are always looking for escapes, a beach vacation, a cabin in the woods, or a mountaintop retreat. While all these are great, you've got the ultimate escape within you. Diving deep into your own mind can bring about the kind of peace these getaways offer, maybe even better. The real calm comes from setting your mind right. So whenever the world gets too loud, take a mini vacation in your head. Reset. And when you're setting your mind straight, keep your Guiding principles short and sweet. They'll help you come back to reality feeling refreshed, feeling annoyed with people. Remember, we're all in this together, and often people mess up without really meaning to. Think of all the drama from the past. All those folks who got so worked up and now they're gone. Dust in the wind, chill out. If you're upset about your place in the grand scheme of things, just remember, everything is either random or there's a grand plan. Either way, what's it to you? Just fit in where you can and keep the peace. And if you're getting too caught up with the physical world, remind yourself of the separation between mind and body. Remember the lessons about pain, pleasure, and the fleeting nature of it all. Relax. And if you're chasing fame, think about this. Fame's temporary. Time will move on and memories fade. Think of the vastness of time and space. Your 15 minutes of fame is just a blip. Find your peace. So here's the game plan. Dive into your inner sanctuary when things get tough. Stay grounded. Look at things from a human perspective, knowing you're just a speck in this vast universe. Remember two things. External stuff doesn't really affect your soul. It's all about your perception. And everything you see around you, it's constantly changing. Life's all about transformation, and your viewpoint shapes your reality. So here's the deal. If we all have the power of reason, then we all share the same rational voice telling us right from wrong. If that's true, then we all live by the same moral code. That means we're all in this together, part of a global community. Think of it like the world is one big neighborhood. And where does our shared sense of reason come from? Just like our physical parts come from the earth, our minds gotta come from somewhere too, right? Death? It's just nature doing its thing. We're born, we live, we go back to where we came from. It's a cycle, and there's nothing about it that should make you feel bad or scared. It's just part of being alive. People will be people. Some will do annoying or bad stuff, but here's a reality check. Both you and that irritating guy, you'll both be history soon, and eventually no one will even remember your names. Feeling hurt? That's just in your head. Get rid of that negative mindset and suddenly there's no harm. Things that don't drag you down as a person won't drag your life down either. So don't stress about it. Nature's got a plan. Believe that everything happens for a reason. If you pay attention, you'll notice that it all kind of makes sense. Stick to being the best version of yourself, always. Don't just adopt other people's views, especially not those trying to mess with you. See things for what they really are. Always remember two things. 1. Act based on what's right and good for everyone. 2. If someone offers genuine advice that makes sense, be open to change. But only change if it feels right and not just because it's popular or sounds fun. You've got a brain, right? Then why not use it? If it's doing its job, what else do you need? Life is short. You're a tiny blip in the grand scheme of things. But guess what? One day, you'll just go back to where you came from. Doesn't matter when life throws you a curveball. Just like different incense grains burning at different times on an altar, it's all part of the process. In a week or so, people's perceptions can change. Today's enemy can be tomorrow's admirer. Just stick to your values and trust the process. Live in the moment. Don't act like you've got endless time. Death's always lurking around the corner. So, while you're here, be the best you can be. Here's a life hack. Stop worrying about what others are doing or saying. Focus on yourself, your actions, and your journey. Stay true to your path and don't get sidetracked by the drama around you. Obsessing over being remembered after you're gone? Think about it. Everyone who remembers you will also pass away. And then the next generation and the next, until no one's left to remember. And even if, somehow, your memory lasted forever, would it truly matter to you? Focus on what's real now instead of chasing immaterial praises. Beauty is inherent. It doesn't need applause to be beautiful. Take a painting, a diamond, or a song. Their beauty doesn't increase with compliments. Consider the emerald. Does it lose its charm if no one acknowledges it? Or gold or a sunset? They are beautiful just as they are, regardless of attention. About souls, if they exist eternally, how does the universe hold them all? Think of it like our Earth absorbing countless bodies over millennia. Maybe souls, after floating around a while, change and blend into the universe's vast intelligence, making room for new ones. And remember, it's not just humans. Think of all the animals that become part of the food chain. Earth has its own recycling system, turning bodies into other elements. So maybe souls have their process too, searching for the core truth. Break it down. There's the tangible stuff, and then there's the essence that gives it shape and meaning. Stay grounded. In every move you make, prioritize fairness. Whenever something grabs your attention, keep a clear head and understand the situation before diving in. The universe has its rhythm, and I'm vibing with it. Whatever's right for the universe is right for me. I appreciate what each season brings, feeling that sense of unity. Everything comes from the universe, exists in it, and eventually returns to it. When someone says, "I love my hometown," shouldn't we all rather feel, "I love this universe, my universal home"? Want peace of mind, do only what's needed and what aligns with our social nature. We often clutter our days with unnecessary actions and thoughts. If we cut those out, we'd find calm and have way more free time. Whenever you're about to act or think, ask yourself, is this really necessary? Toss out the extra baggage. Give the good life a shot. Be content with your part in the grand scheme of things and find joy in doing right by others and yourself. Seen something shocking? Keep your cool. Simplify your reaction. If someone messes up, they're the ones facing the consequences. Life threw you a curveball. Well, the universe has had that in store for you since forever. Life's short, so handle what's right in front of you with reason and fairness. Chill out, but stay focused. The universe either has a plan or it's a jumble that somehow works out. But how can you be in chaos while the universe is in harmony, especially when everything's interconnected? Watch out for toxic traits, stubbornness, impulsiveness, deceit, ignorance, and more. They can take over if you're not careful. If you're clueless about the universe's workings, you're an outsider. If you resent life's curveballs, you're isolating yourself from the universe's flow, disconnecting from the communal vibe just because things don't go your way. That's like tearing a piece away from a beautiful tapestry. Some find wisdom without luxury, others without books. Some might lack life's basics but still hold on to their principles. And others might not cash in on their knowledge, but they remain true to their core beliefs. Embrace the skills and knowledge you've got, even if they seem modest. Move through life trusting that you've given your best shot and that the universe has got your back. Live freely without trying to dominate or be dominated by anyone. Think about the era of Vespasian. People were getting married, raising kids, getting sick, dying, warring, partying, working, farming, showing off, being stubborn, plotting, hoping others would fail, and chasing power. But now, that era's vibe is long gone. Fast forward to Trajan's time, same deal. This cycle goes on. Just recall people you've known who wasted time on pointless stuff, not focusing on their true selves. Remember to give attention where it's due, and you'll stay grounded. Remember how some old-school words now sound dated. Same with once famous names like Camillus, Scipio, and even Augustus. They all had their moment, but now they're just names in history books. The big takeaway? Most people have forgotten once they're gone. Even legends fade. So what's truly worth our energy? Aim for honesty in words, actions that benefit all, and accepting life as it comes, recognizing it's all part of a bigger picture. Go with the flow of life. like letting fate guide your journey. Everything is fleeting, both memories and what's remembered. Always note that change is the only constant. Get comfortable with the idea that the universe is always evolving, and it loves creating new from the old. But don't just think of seeds in the ground, or in life. That's old school thinking. Life's short, and you're still overcomplicating things. You're not totally chill, still worried about external drama, and haven't quite embraced everyone. True wisdom. It's all about doing right. Always try to understand people's motives, even the smart ones. What are they chasing or avoiding? Don't waste time searching for malice in others' intentions or in the randomness of life. The real battleground is how you perceive and interpret things. When challenges affect both good and bad people equally, it's a reminder. These situations aren't inherently evil. Even if you're facing personal hardships, train your mind to stay calm and view things without judgment. Life is fleeting, much like a river. Events come and go swiftly, replacing old moments with new ones. Everything we experience, be it roses in spring, fruits in summer, or even challenges like illness and betrayals, is just part of the grand tapestry of life. It's not a random mess, but a beautifully intricate design where everything interconnects in an almost magical sequence. Imagine the universe as a harmonious entity. All events, people, and elements work in tandem, much like threads weaving together into a fabric. This world us see our place. We're conscious beings navigating the world in our temporary bodies, as Epictetus wisely put it. Embrace change, for it's neither bad nor good, just a natural progression. And as we experience life's transitions, let's not forget Heraclitus's insight. Everything undergoes transformation. Earth becomes water, water turns to air, and air ignites into fire, only to circle back again. In this vast interconnected cycle, it's surprising how we often get bogged down by the mundane or forget the grander scheme. Live consciously, not just following old patterns or mimicking what you've been taught. And if faced with the existential question of life's duration, whether it's years or just one more day, embrace it. After all, what truly matters is the depth and richness of the journey, not its length. Think about how many doctors have passed away after fretting over their patients, or those astrologers who made big claims predicting others' deaths. How about philosophers debating life and death, or warriors and dictators acting as if they'd live forever? Remember cities like Pompeii, wiped out in a blink. Consider the countless people you've known who've passed on. Life's fleeting. Everyone's time comes, and when it does, it's as natural as an olive falling from a tree when ripe. So live your life naturally, and when it's time to go, be at peace, appreciating the journey. Be resilient. Be like that cliff against which waves crash but stand strong, turning the raging waters calm. Bad stuff happens, but instead of thinking, "Why me?" think, "How can I handle this gracefully?" Just because something's tough doesn't mean it's the end of the world. Whatever life throws at you, don't let it mess with your virtues or peace of mind. Challenges aren't curses. Handling them well can be a blessing. Thinking about death, look at those who clung to life. What did they really gain over those who passed early? At the end of the day, they too found their resting place. Life's just a brief moment between birth and death, filled with its ups and downs, so why overvalue it? Especially when you look at the vast expanse of time that's come before and the endless time that lies ahead. What's the difference between living a few days or a few decades in this grand scheme? Always take the straightforward path, the one aligned with reason. It's the surest way to a hassle-free life, free of drama and pretense. Stick to what's real and genuine, and you'll find peace. Book 5. A Guide to Everyday Living. When you wake up in the morning, feeling all groggy, Remind yourself, I'm up for a day in the life of a human. Why moan about doing what you're here to do? Were you made just to snuggle under the covers? Yeah, it feels good, but is life just about feeling comfy? Look around. Birds, plants, even tiny ants, they're all doing their part, hustling, and you're just gonna lie there. Sure, rest is important, but there's a limit. You don't mind overdoing the food or entertainment, but when it comes to making a difference, you hold back. If you loved yourself, you'd embrace your potential. Think about it. Artists, athletes, even folks obsessed with money or fame, they'll give up sleep, food, everything to chase their passion. Aren't your life's goals worth that grind? You can easily brush off things or thoughts that bother you. Find your peace. Do what feels right. Don't get sidetracked by critics. Everyone has their own journey and priorities. Focus on your path, in sync with your true self and the universe. They're the same path, you know. Life's a cycle. We breathe, live, and ultimately return to the very elements we came from. That's just how it goes. People don't get your sense of humor, okay? But you have other amazing qualities. Show them, like being genuine, hardworking, not giving in to every temptation, being happy with what you have, being kind and straight up. Focus on these. You've got the power to be all this and more, no excuses. Stop selling yourself short. If you're not the sharpest tool in the shed, work on it. Don't mope or make a show of it. Just be the best version of yourself. When you do someone a favor, there are usually 3 ways of going about it. Some folks immediately expect a pat on the back. Others, a little subtler, just silently hope the other person remembers the kind gesture. And then there's that rare breed that just keeps moving, kind of like a tree dropping fruit and not waiting for applause, just doing their thing and moving on. Should we be like this? Probably. But it's natural to want others to recognize our good deeds. That's part of being human, being social. Just don't get twisted and think you're doing someone a service by just seeking validation. If you get the point, you'll find balance. You'll do good, get noticed, and it won't mess with your social vibes. Here's a classic thought from Athens. Hey Zeus, can we get some rain over here? Ideally, we should either keep our wishes straightforward or not wish at all. When you hear doctor's orders, hit the gym or take cold showers or ditch the shoes, think of it like this. Sometimes life gives you lemons, not because you asked for them, but because that's what's on your plate. It's like saying, hey, this is your jam right now. Just as a doctor prescribes something for health, life prescribes challenges for growth. We're all puzzle pieces and fit into a bigger picture. It's the universe's grand design. It's all about balance. And even if you don't get the bigger picture, at least acknowledge it was meant to be. The main idea, embrace what life throws at you, even the tough stuff, because it's for the greater good. Everything that happens, even the not so great, contributes to the universe's health and the master plan. It's all part of a complex interconnected web. Every event, every moment is a stitch in the fabric of the universe. Complaining or rejecting it is like snipping away at that fabric. So go with the flow, accept the ups and downs, and trust that everything has its place and purpose. Falling short of your principles, don't stress out. Everyone trips up sometimes. What's key is bouncing back. It's like that friend with the messy room who tidies it up now and then. Don't think of self-improvement like you've got a drill sergeant breathing down your neck. It's more like soothing a headache with a wet cloth. Remember, the essence of growth is to align with what's natural to you. Pleasure is tempting, but isn't there more to life? Think about it. Isn't courage, honesty, chill vibes, and genuine goodness more satisfying? Isn't the peace that comes from understanding the world around you the ultimate high? Life can be super confusing. Even brainy philosophers and deep thinkers sometimes throw their hands up. Everything is fleeting, changing. Think about all the shiny stuff people chase after. Worth it? Not really, especially when you think about how anyone, even someone you might look down on, can have them. Let's be real. Tolerating people, including ourselves, can be a challenge. Amidst all this chaos, what's really worth running after? Not much. The real deal. Reminding yourself that whatever comes your way is a part of the grand cosmic plan, and you always have the power to stay true to yourself. Nobody can force you off track. Ever stopped and asked yourself, what's my mind really up to right now? Check in. Who's running the show upstairs? Is it a moody teen, a scared kid, a diva, or some wild creature? There's a litmus test for what people value. If someone genuinely recognizes the value in wisdom, patience, fairness, and resilience, they wouldn't be swayed by the superficial allure society often promotes. On the other hand, if someone's caught up in the chase for material wealth or fleeting fame, they will find joy in trivial excess. It's telling when a joke about overabundance is funny in the context of materialism, but sounds absurd when applied to true virtues. Bottom line, why pursue excess to the point where it's overwhelming, akin to a mansion where you can't even find the restroom? Real worth is found in recognizing what genuinely enhances our lives. I'm made of both tangible and intangible elements. Neither will just vanish since they didn't come from nothing. Parts of me will evolve into parts of the universe, and those will change into other parts, and so on. That's the cycle that brought me, my ancestors, and everything into existence. It's like a never-ending relay race. Logic and philosophy are self-sufficient tools. They start from their unique beginning point and make their way to their set destination. That's why actions driven by them are considered on track. They're always on the right path. We shouldn't label things as intrinsic to us if they aren't natural to our human essence. These things aren't promised or essential for our growth. If they were truly part of us, it wouldn't be commendable for us to live without them. Yet, the more we can go without, or the more patient we are when we lose them, the more fulfilled we become. Your repetitive thoughts shape your mind. It takes the color of those thoughts. Keep reminding yourself that you can thrive wherever you can live. Everything is designed for a reason, and it's propelled towards that purpose. Everything's end goal is where its true value lies. For humans, that's society. We're social beings by design. Isn't it clear that everything has a hierarchy? Living things have an edge over non-living, and among living, those with reasoning top the chart. Chasing the impossible. That's just setting yourself up for disappointment. We all face challenges. Some might not even realize it, or they shrug it off as if it's no big deal. But if they can get through, why can't we? It's laughable to let ignorance get the best of wisdom. Always remember, life's events don't truly touch your inner core. They can't influence it. Your soul decides its perspective. We should help and empathize with the people around us. However, when they stand in our way, view them as any other challenge, like an unexpected rain on your parade. The beauty of our mindset is its power to convert these challenges into opportunities. It's crucial to respect the force that drives the universe and similarly, honor the force within you. Both dictate and guide the entirety of our existence. On a broader scale, if something doesn't impact the community, it shouldn't bother its individuals. When you're faced with issues, gauge its effect on the larger group. And if the community does feel a ripple, instead of getting annoyed, guide the person causing it. They might just need a different viewpoint. Life's fleeting moments come and go in a heartbeat. Everything's in a constant flux. So why fuss over the impermanent? Why be consumed by pride or stress? They're mere passing clouds. As you navigate this vast universe in the timeline, remember, you're but a speck in the grand scheme. Yet in any altercation, if someone's giving you grief, that's their baggage. They walk their path, bearing their actions. As for you, You've got your life's lessons and instincts guiding your steps. Don't let your core, your mental spirit, get dragged down by physical sensations, whether they're good or bad. Recognize those feelings for what they are, but don't let your judgment tag them as good or bad. They're just sensations. Living in tune with the universe is like living in sync with the gods. You're vibing with the universe when you're content with your lot in life, and when you follow your inner voice, that guiding instinct that everyone's born with. It's your internal compass. Got an issue with someone's bad breath or body odor? Getting mad isn't going to help you or them. If someone has a problem, tell them, but do it kindly. If they get it, great. No need to get worked up about it. And let's be real, everyone has their quirks. Your life here is yours to control. If the environment or the people around you are toxic, then leave, but don't make a scene about it. Until that point, do what feels right to you, and no one should have the power to say otherwise. The universe is all about connections. Everything's in place for a reason, with the smaller parts serving the greater ones. Notice the harmony? It's by design. Reflect on your past actions. How have you treated those close to you, from family to friends to those working for you? Can you confidently say you've been fair and kind to everyone? Think about your journey so far, the highs, the lows, and all the experiences that have shaped you. Recall the beauty you've witnessed, the challenges you shrugged off, the values you held on to, and the kindness you've shown, even to those who didn't return the favor. Lastly, why let the uninformed opinions of others shake someone who knows better? True understanding is recognizing the patterns, the start and end, the logic that runs through everything and drives the universe in its eternal dance. Soon we'll all be dust or bones and our names. Just a whisper, if that. The stuff people stress about. It's all pointless drama. It's like watching puppies play fight or kids laugh one moment and cry the next. But where's the loyalty, humility, fairness, and honesty? Seems like they've checked out. So what's really keeping you here? If everything's always changing and we can't fully trust our senses and our souls just a fleeting thing, why care about fame in this chaotic world? Why not chill out, waiting for whatever comes next? And until then, what really matters? Just respect the universe, do good by others, keep your cool, and remember, everything beyond our immediate control isn't our business. You can live a peaceful life if you think and act right. There's something every sentient being shares, the desire not to be held back by others and to find purpose in doing the right thing. If something's not because of my mistakes or isn't affecting everyone's well-being, why fuss about it? And even if it does impact everyone, is it really that bad? Don't get swept up by first impressions. Help others as you can, and if they mess up on trivial stuff, don't sweat it. Think of it like an old guy asking for his childhood toy back. It's just a toy. Ever felt lost in the hype of public opinion? Remember what it's all about. Are you going to lose your head over what others obsess about? Thought you had it all and then lost it? Real fortune isn't about having stuff. It's about a peaceful mind, staying positive, and doing good. Book 6, Navigating the Universe. The universe flows seamlessly, without malice. It neither harms intentionally nor disrupts. Everything reaches its full potential within this flow. Whether you're cold or hot, tired or awake, loved or despised, just remember that each moment, even death, has its role in life. Continually self-reflect, understanding the true essence and value of your surroundings. Realize that change is the only constant, with everything evolving or dispersing in its time. The universe's guiding force is ever aware of its role and influence, so trust its wisdom. Revenge is a hollow pursuit. Rising above is the true victory. Seek joy in every interaction and transition between life's events with the universe's grand scheme in mind. Our internal compass can adapt and shape our perceptions. Ponder the universe's nature, chaotic mess or ordered masterpiece. If it's chaos, our worries are trivial as we all return to dust. But if it's a harmonious design, let's trust and find solace in its cosmic dance. When life throws you off balance, get back to your center quickly. Don't let the chaos last longer than it needs to. It's like balancing between two worlds. Imagine having both a stepmom and a real mom. You'd respect the stepmom, but always find comfort with your mom. Think of the world as the stepmom, and your core beliefs or philosophy as your real mom. Dive back into what grounds you, so you can handle whatever the world throws at you. Take a moment to see things for what they truly are. That fancy dinner? It's just dead fish or chicken. That expensive wine? Grape juice? That designer dress? Sheep's wool colored by shellfish blood? Strip away the glamour and see the reality. Remember, appearances can trick you into valuing the superficial, especially when you think you're on the right path. People often admire basic things like rocks or trees. Some with a bit more insight appreciate animals, and others value human skills or power. But the real game changer is someone who understands and values the rational and social human soul. If you're this person, you'd prioritize understanding, compassion, and collaboration. Everything is always changing. Some things come into being while others fade away. The world is in a constant state of flux, just like time that never stops. So in this ever-changing world, why become obsessed with fleeting moments? It's like trying to hold on to a bird flying past. It's already gone. Your life is just as fleeting, made of moments like breaths, taken and released. Value the now, but don't get too attached. When life feels chaotic, what really matters? It's not the superficial stuff like getting attention or applause. Real value isn't in physical processes like breathing or eating. And honestly, who cares about getting a standing ovation? Fame is fleeting and can't be the end game. What truly matters is aligning with your true self, your essence. That's the goal of every craft or skill, perfecting its purpose. When you get that right, other things become trivial. If you're constantly chasing what everyone else values, you'll be restless, envious, and never truly satisfied. But respecting and listening to yourself, that's where contentment, peace with others, and a harmonious relationship with the universe lies. The world's always in motion, but real progress, the growth of virtue, moves in mysterious ways, quietly but steadily forward. Isn't it odd how we crave praise from future generations, but don't value the opinions of those around us today? It's like being upset that folks from the past didn't applaud you. If something feels tough, don't dismiss it as impossible. If it's humanly possible and aligns with our nature, believe you can achieve it too. Ever had a rough game or workout session where you got hurt? We don't get mad at the person. We just stay alert and avoid further harm without holding a grudge. Life's the same way. Bumps and clashes happen. Don't take it personally. Just navigate calmly and move on. Always be open to change. If someone points out a better way or a flaw in your thinking, embrace the chance to evolve. Seeking truth never hurt anyone, but sticking stubbornly to errors, that's damaging. In the end, I focus on what's my job to do. The rest, whether they're lifeless objects, thoughtless actions, or confused souls, doesn't derail me. When it comes to animals and objects, remember, you've got something they don't. Reasoning, so treat them well. When it comes to people, be a team player. They're thinking beings just like you. And hey, check in with the universe or whatever you believe in now and then. Even if it's just for a few moments, it's worth it. Death's a great leveler. Think about it. A powerful king like Alexander the Great and his servant ended up in the same place. Either they both return to the universe's building blocks or just turn to dust. Life's pretty complex. Just think of all the stuff happening in your body and mind at the same time. Now, think of the universe as a whole. It's got countless things happening at once. Mind-blowing, right? Say someone asked you how to spell a name, like Antoninus. You'd spell it out calmly, right? And if they snapped at you, would you snap back? Nah, you'd stay cool and keep going. That's a neat way to think about handling life's tasks and people's attitudes. Stay calm and carry on. When someone messes up, remember they're doing what they think is best. It might not be, but instead of getting frustrated, guide them. Teach without the rage. Thinking about death. Well, it's basically just logging off from feelings, desires, thoughts, and our body's needs. Isn't it kind of sad if our spirit gives up before our body does? Stay strong out there. Look, don't get lost trying to become the big boss or getting sucked into the hype. Trust me, it happens. Instead, be authentic. Keep it real. Stay true to yourself. Be kind. And stand firm on what's right. Live your life in a way that makes your mentors proud. Look up to folks like Antoninus. Remember how he kept his cool, treated everyone fairly, listened more than he spoke, and never let petty gossip get to him. Remember how he appreciated the simple things, was consistent in his friendships, and was always open to new ideas. Aim to have that peace of mind when it's your time. Snap out of overthinking. You know how you wake up from a dream and realize it was all in your head. Do the same with the drama in real life. See it for what it is, just noise. We're all a mix of body and mind. The body doesn't get caught up in drama, it just does its thing. The same goes for the mind. It should focus on the here and now, the past and future. Don't sweat it, handle the present. Every part has its role. Hands do hand things, feet do foot things, and as humans our job is just to be human. So, if you're doing your best and staying true to yourself, you're on the right path. But real talk, even bad guys have had their good times. Don't measure your worth by fleeting pleasures. Have you noticed how professionals, whether they're builders or doctors, always adhere to the basics of their trade, especially when explaining things to beginners? It's fascinating if they value their expertise more than we appreciate the foundational principles of being human. Put things in perspective, Asia and Europe. They're just small segments of the world. Oceans, mere droplets in the vast universe. Mountains, simple dots in the grand scheme of things. Everything we know is fleeting and ever-changing, and yet everything has its origin and connection. So don't dismiss the seemingly insignificant. It all emerges from the same profound source. If you've witnessed one event, in a sense, you've seen the history and future of everything. All events, past and present, interconnect in some mysterious way, as if part of one large tapestry. Always be aware of the world's interconnectedness. It's as though the universe is a grand puzzle and each piece, no matter how small, plays a crucial role. That's the wonder of our existence. Accept the hand life has dealt you and cherish the people who are part of your journey. And when you show love, genuinely mean it. Every object, whether it's a tool or a vessel, has a purpose. It remains functional even in the absence of its creator. The creations of nature are even more intriguing. They operate with inherent wisdom. If you can respect and align with that energy, everything starts to fall into place. If you stress over factors beyond your grasp, you might find yourself upset with the universe, or even pinning blame on others. But if you focus on what's within your domain, life becomes a lot more harmonious. We're all in this together. Some people know exactly what they're doing and why, while others might be clueless, going through the motions like they're sleepwalking. Heraclitus once said, "Even sleepwalkers contribute to the universe's workings." We all play our part, even those who criticize or try to put a wrench in the works. The universe needs them too, so you need to figure out what role you're playing. Whatever it is, the universe will find a way to utilize you. Just make sure you're not just some forgettable line in the grand play of life, like that one Chrysippus mentioned. Think about it. Does the sun try to do the rain's job? Does Aesculapius, the god of medicine, try to take on Earth's duties? Even stars, as diverse as they are, harmoniously work towards a collective goal. If the gods have a plan for me, I trust it's a good one. Why would they want to harm me? What would they gain if they've planned out the broader strokes but not my individual path? I'll still embrace whatever comes my way. If the gods haven't set any path at all, which is hard to believe, then at least I can chart my own course, choosing what aligns with my nature. I'm a thinking social being. In the context of my identity, my city is Rome, but as a human being, my home is the world. So I'll focus on what benefits these places. Remember this: what's beneficial for one often benefits all, and by beneficial, I mean those things that are neutral, not strictly good or bad. Ever felt bored watching the same show or seeing the same sights over and over? That's life for you. Everywhere you look, it's variations of the same thing. So what's the end game here? Remember that countless people from all walks of life and from all corners of the world have lived and passed on. Think about famous folks like Philistion, Phoebus, or Oregonian. Now think about other great minds, thinkers like Heraclitus, Pythagoras, and Socrates, heroes, leaders, and visionaries of the past. Don't forget genius minds like Eudoxus, Hipparchus, and Archimedes, and even those who made fun of our short human lives, like Menippus. All of them have had their time and now they're gone. But does that diminish their legacy? And what about those countless unnamed? What truly matters is living a genuine life, being truthful, just and kind-hearted, even towards those who might not be the same towards you. When you need a pick-me-up, reflect on the good qualities of those around you. Maybe it's the dedication of one friend, the humility of another, or the generosity of someone else. Nothing's more uplifting than seeing the goodness in those we share our lives with, so keep those examples close to heart. You're probably okay with not weighing 300 pounds, right? So why stress about not living for, say, 300 years? Just as you accept your physical attributes, accept the time you've got. If you're trying to influence someone, persuade with kindness. But if you have to act for what's right, don't hesitate. And if someone forcefully opposes you, stay calm and find an alternative. Remember, you're not aiming to achieve the impossible. What were you after? A genuine effort. As long as you've tried, you've succeeded. If you're chasing fame, you probably value others' achievements as if they're your own, while those into pleasure are focused on how things feel. But if you're wise, you recognize that your actions are what truly define your worth. It's crucial to remember that we have the power to not form opinions on everything. External things don't automatically influence our feelings or beliefs. Always make the effort to truly listen when someone's speaking, to genuinely understand where they're coming from. This idea of being considerate and understanding applies broadly. What's bad for the group is usually bad for the individual, after all. It's like a crew criticizing their captain during a storm, or patients doubting their doctor. Without trust, how can we move forward? Life is fleeting. Many people I began this journey with aren't here anymore. Perspective is everything. Someone with liver issues might find honey repulsive, while a child finds joy in a simple ball. Our perceptions can be skewed. So why waste energy on anger? Stay true to yourself, because no one can derail you from that path. And always keep in mind, time fades most things, so focus on what truly matters, rather than fleeting moments of validation. Book 7. Interconnected Reality. Ever feel like you're seeing the same things over and over again? That's because life cycles and patterns repeat. Stories from the past, the present, they all echo the same themes. Truth is, there's nothing truly new under the sun. It's all familiar and fleeting. Wondering how to keep your values alive. Keep feeding those thoughts and beliefs that align with them. If you believe something, stand by it. Why get bothered by external stuff? They're not part of your core. If you're feeling lost, just revisit the things that once mattered to you. That's how you rediscover yourself. Life's full of distractions, sports, shows, everyday chores. Think of ants working or a puppet show. It's all the same. In the middle of it all, stay chill, not haughty. Remember, you're only as significant as the things you prioritize. Whether chatting or observing, be present. Listen closely to words and actions. Ask yourself, does this align with my understanding? If yes, dive in. If not, step back and let someone more capable handle it, or give it your best shot with a little help. After all, it's about contributing positively to society. Many have risen to fame only to be forgotten, and many who've praised others are no longer remembered. If you need help, seek it out. Think of yourself as a soldier on a mission. If you need a boost to climb that wall, why not? Don't fret about the future. You'll handle it just like you're handling now, using your wisdom and judgment. Everything's connected, and that connection is sacred. We're all part of one universe, influenced by a universal force, or God. There's a shared essence in all of us, a common understanding, a truth. Everything physical eventually merges back into the universe. Every thought returns to the universal consciousness, and memories, they fade in time. For those who think and reason, actions align with both nature and logic. Stand tall or be picked up. Think of all of us as individual parts of one big puzzle. If you often remind yourself that you're a piece of the grand human puzzle, you'll see the bigger picture. But if you're just out for yourself, you're not fully embracing humanity. Helping others shouldn't just be about ticking a box. It should feel like you're helping a part of yourself. Stuff happens. Let the external bits of you deal with the external blows. The inner you, your soul, remains unharmed unless you let negative thoughts creep in. No matter what goes on around you, stay true to yourself. It's like gold staying gold no matter what you do to it. Your core self isn't easily shaken unless you shake. Drama unless you let it. Happiness, it's like having a guardian angel. Daydreams, you're not needed here. I know you're just doing your thing, but please step back. I've got this. Worried about change. Dude, nothing happens without it. It's natural and necessary. I mean, can you cook without changing ingredients? Can you grow without changing yourself? Embracing change is just rolling with the universe's vibe. Life flows through the universe, connecting everything. Remember, even the great thinkers like Socrates or Epictetus were eventually forgotten by time. It's natural. What bugs me? Doing something that's not in sync with my true self at the wrong time or in the wrong way. In the end, we all forget and get forgotten just how it is. We humans have this unique thing. We can still care for those who mess up. Why? Maybe you see them as family or realize they goofed out of ignorance, not malice. Remember, we're all on a timer here. And hey, their mistake didn't mess with your core self, so you're good. Nature's like a master sculptor, using the same clay to mold a horse 1 minute, a tree the next, and maybe you after that. Everything's temporary, but just because something ends doesn't mean it was ever wrong or broken. Consistent negativity? It's not your natural look. Overdo it and you lose that inner spark, perhaps forever. Take that as a sign it's not the right way to think. If you lose the ability to recognize what's right, what's the point of going on? Nature keeps things fresh. It transforms everything you see now into something else tomorrow, ensuring the world's always got a new face. Someone did you wrong. Ask yourself what made them think it was the right thing to do. Understanding that might make you feel for them instead of getting mad. Maybe you've been there or you get where they're coming from. That should make forgiveness easier. But if you don't get it, you're probably in a better place than them, so cut them some slack. Count your blessings. Focus on the cool stuff you have. Think about how much you'd want them if they weren't yours, but don't get so attached that you'd be lost without them. Take a moment for some self-reflection. Your inner compass finds peace when you do right by yourself and others. Clear out the clutter in your head. Live in the now. Get the full story when stuff happens, whether to you or someone else. Break down everything into its essence. Reflect on life's fleeting nature. Let people's mistakes stay with them, not with you. Tune in to what's being said. Dive deep into actions and those who act. Embrace simplicity, humility, and neutrality. Care about the bigger picture between right and wrong. Love people. Align with the universe. As poets say, there's a natural order to things. Just remember, that order governs everything. On death, it's either a fade-out, a transformation, or just the end. Either way, it's a transition or an end. On pain, if it's unbearable, it'll take you out. If it lingers, you can deal. Your mind can find peace by focusing inward, while the rest might struggle. If those hurting parts could speak, wonder what they'd say. On fame, look at fame seekers. What drives them? What they dodge? What they chase? Life's events, like layers of sand, cover the past with the present. Plato said, "For someone who sees the vast span of time and existence, can they really think our short lives are that significant?" No way, Plato said. Such a person wouldn't fear death either. Exactly. Antisthenes said, "It's best to do good even when criticized. If our face can show what our mind feels, shouldn't our mind control itself? Getting worked up over things doesn't change reality. Reality doesn't care about our feelings. To bring joy is a gift to the eternal and to us. Life's a cycle. As one life starts, another ends. If the gods or the universe seems indifferent to me and mine, there's a reason. The good and just are with me." Plato also said this, "Look, if you believe you're doing something important, then it's not about weighing the risks of life or death. It's about asking if you're acting right. Think about it this way. If you're where you think you should be, or where someone put you because they believed in you, you've got to own it. Don't think about the dangers, even death. Ditching your post. Now that's the real shame. Seriously, think about it. Isn't there something more to life than just surviving? A real person doesn't obsess over how long they're going to live. Let fate handle that. Listen to what folks say. No one can dodge destiny. So focus on how to make the most of the time you've got. Look up at the stars and feel like you're a part of their journey. Reflect on how everything changes and evolves. Thoughts like these wash away the mundanity of life. Plato had a cool idea. When talking about people, rise above and look down on Earth's happenings from a higher perspective. Watch people in their daily lives, working, celebrating, arguing, loving, living, and dying. It's a chaotic dance of opposites, but there's an order to it. Think about history, the rise and fall of empires, the future. Expect more of the same. After seeing life for 40 years, it's like you've seen it for 10,000. What more will change? And things from earth return to earth. But what's born from something more divine? That goes back to the divine. Whether that's atoms parting ways or something deeper, that's the cycle. Using every trick in the book to cheat death won't work forever. Life throws challenges and we've got to face them without making a fuss. Someone might be better at beating their competition, but that doesn't mean they're more understanding, humble, adaptable, or forgiving of others' mistakes. If you can act based on common sense, which both gods and humans share, you've got nothing to worry about. When you're doing something that aligns with your true self and it's working out, there's no downside. You've got the power, anytime and anywhere, to embrace where you are, treat those around you right, and keep your thoughts in check. Don't be nosy about how others guide their life. Focus on your own path, what life throws at you and how your inner self reacts. Everything's designed with a purpose. Just like the lesser things serve the greater, we humans are made for each other. Being social is at the core of being human. The second thing, not giving in to every bodily urge. Logic and reason should guide us, not just feelings or desires. After all, our ability to think rationally should control them, not the other way around. And lastly, stay clear-headed and truthful. Keep these principles and you're on the right track. Imagine if you've lived all your life until now and you've only got a little time left. Live the rest naturally. Embrace whatever life throws at you. It's part of your journey. And what fits better than that? Remember all those before you who stressed out, acted like everything was a huge deal, and complained nonstop. Where are they now? Gone. So why follow in their footsteps? Let those who want to fuss. Focus on making the best out of every situation. Stay true to yourself and strive to be good in all you do. Dive deep inside you. There's a wellspring of goodness there. Keep searching and it'll keep giving. Your body should be balanced, not awkward, whether you're moving or standing still. Your face reflects what's on your mind, right? Your body should do the same. Just be genuine about it. Life's a lot like wrestling, not dancing. You've got to be ready for surprises that can knock you off your feet. Pay attention to whose opinion matters to you and understand their values. This way, you won't be too hard on those who mess up without meaning to, and you won't crave validation from people who don't really matter. Remember, everyone can lose their way, whether it's from the truth or from being just and kind. Keeping this in mind will help you be more forgiving. Whenever you're in pain, remind yourself there's no shame in it, and it doesn't change who you are at your core. And here's a little tip from Epicurus. Pain isn't endless or too much to handle, especially if you know it's temporary, and don't make it worse in your head. Think about it. There are other uncomfortable things like being too sleepy, too hot, or not hungry that we don't label as pain. So if you're getting frustrated by them, just remind yourself you're just experiencing a different kind of discomfort. Be careful not to feel about the inhumane the same way they feel about others. Just because Socrates was famous for his noble death and his arguments, does that make him better than someone lesser known, like Teleges? It's not just about the big moments, like refusing orders or enduring tough times. The real question is, did Socrates stay true to himself, treat others right, and remain grounded no matter what life threw at him? It's the quality of one's soul that truly counts. Your mind isn't so tied to your body that you can't control it. It's entirely possible to be amazing without the whole world noticing. Remember, it doesn't take much to lead a fulfilled life. Just because you aren't the best speaker or scientist doesn't mean you can't be genuine, kind, and in sync with the universe. You can live with peace and clarity no matter how much the world might disagree with you, or even if you're faced with physical threats. Your mindset can stay calm, making clear judgments, and making the most of every situation. See things as they truly are, not just how people perceive them. Embrace every moment, as every challenge or event is an opportunity to grow, either in relation to others or the universe. Nothing's too unexpected or challenging if you have the right perspective. Living with integrity means treating every day as if it's your last, staying genuine and not getting overly dramatic or just coasting through. Now consider this. If immortal beings can handle and even care for imperfect humans forever, shouldn't we show a bit of patience, especially with our short time frames? After all, none of us are flawless. It's kind of silly to dodge other people's imperfections when we can't even address our own. Anything that doesn't vibe with clarity or togetherness just isn't on par with genuine relationships and straight thinking. When you help someone and they're grateful, that's the real deal. Why expect praise or payback? Everyone values what's good for them, and acting naturally is beneficial for all. So why hold back from spreading that goodness? As for the universe, whether everything's planned or some events are just random, keeping that perspective can really help keep things chill. Book 8, Finding One's True Path. Let's be real. You haven't lived your entire life or even your young adulthood chasing pure wisdom, and that's obvious to both you and everyone around. At this point, nabbing that wise philosopher title feels out of reach given the choices you've made. But if you're keen on understanding what really matters, drop the obsession with how others view you. Just focus on living as your true self dictates from here on. Real happiness? You've searched for it in debates, money, fame, pleasures. Didn't find it, right? The real deal is in acting true to your human nature, and that boils down to knowing what's truly good. Virtues like justice, self-control, courage, anything opposite, that's bad news. Before taking any action, ask, is this true to me? Will I regret it? Life's short and I'll be gone soon. So if my action aligns with intelligence, societal harmony, and cosmic law, isn't that enough? Think of the greats, Alexander, Caesar, Pompey. Compared to deep thinkers like Diogenes, Heraclitus, or Socrates, weren't they tied down by many worldly concerns? People will be people, and you exploding won't change that. Here's the deal. Stay calm. Everything happens as per the universe's rhythm. Soon enough, you, like Hadrian and Augustus, will be forgotten. But now, while you're here, focus. Be kind, speak your truth, but do so humbly and genuinely. Everything's part of the universe's dance. Shuffling things around, morphing them. Change is the only constant, but there's no need for anxiety. It's all familiar territory. We just have to find our place in this ever-shifting pattern. We all feel content when we're aligned with our true selves. For thinking individuals, this alignment comes from clarity of thought, social responsibility, and focusing on what's truly within our control. Embracing whatever life presents us with is essential. It's vital to remember that we're part of a bigger whole, much like leaves on a tree. The key difference is our ability to think and make choices. So when making comparisons, consider the broader context, not just isolated aspects. Ever feel overwhelmed and complain there's no time to read or reflect? Yet, there's always time to let go of arrogance, rise above trivial desires, and stop seeking constant validation. Moreover, it's worth refraining from endless complaints about daily life. Regret often feels like reprimanding oneself for missing something valuable. But if something's genuinely worthwhile, a discerning person would prioritize it. You don't see such individuals regretting missing fleeting pleasures, right? Regularly ask yourself about the core essence of things, their true nature, their role in the bigger picture, and their permanence. When waking up feels like a chore, remember we're designed to connect and collaborate. While sleep is fundamental, even animals need it. Our distinctive human interactions set us apart. Whenever faced with a situation or thought, dissect it. Understand the underlying science, ethics, or logic behind it. Making this a consistent practice can pave the way for greater understanding. When you meet someone, take a quick mental note. What do they believe about right and wrong? Understand that if they view life, fame, pleasure, or pain in a certain way, they'll act accordingly. Recognize their actions are driven by these beliefs. It's silly to be shocked when things go as expected. Just as a fig tree bears figs, the world has its natural outcomes. Similarly, if someone is sick, a doctor shouldn't be surprised, just as a sailor shouldn't be shocked by bad winds. Changing your viewpoint when presented with new information isn't weakness. It's as much a part of freedom as sticking to your beliefs. You're just adjusting according to new insights. If something's within your control, handle it. If it isn't, why complain? If you can change the root cause, great. If not, try. Think bigger. Remember entire lineages like the Pompeii, and realize the cycle of life, the beginning and the inevitable end. Focus on the present. Every action counts. If you're doing your best, that's enough. If external obstacles arise, pivot gracefully. There's always another way to act right. When good fortune knocks, embrace it humbly, but always be ready to release it when the time comes. Ever seen a detached hand or foot? Think about someone feeling disconnected or acting out of sync with others. That's like self-amputating from the bigger picture of life. But here's the cool thing. Even if you felt cut off, you can reconnect. No other part can do that. So appreciate the unique gift we humans have to always find our way back to the whole. Just as the universe brings everything into its fold, we humans can turn challenges into opportunities. Every obstacle can be turned into stepping stones towards our goals. Life's a journey. Don't overwhelm yourself by thinking of every possible challenge ahead. In stressful moments, ask yourself, is this situation really unbearable? Chances are it's not. Remember, it's not the past or future that bothers you, but the present. Break it down and you'll see it's just a small blip on your radar. Do you think people like Panthea or Pergamo still mourn by Varus's grave, or Chaereas for Hadrian? Let's be real. It'd be odd if they did. Even if they did, would the dead even know? And if they knew, would they care? Everyone has their time, and then they move on. Dwelling on it is like fixating on the decay of life. If you've got clarity, use it wisely. When I think of our rational nature, I see virtues like justice. There's no virtue going against it, but I see one opposing hedonism, and that's self-control. Your perspective can be your shield. If something seems hurtful, shift how you see it. Stay grounded. If it's a problem of the mind, let the mind sort it. If another part of you feels off, let it process its feelings. When our senses get blocked, it feels bad, right? The same goes for any hindrance to our desires. It's like a plant being stopped from growing. So, when something blocks our intelligence, it's tough for our thinking selves. Remember this. If you face physical pain or emotional distress, let your senses deal with it. Did an obstacle stop your plans? If it's against the natural flow, it's a bummer. But usually, life's just doing its thing. No one can mess with your core thoughts. Once your mind is solid, it stays that way. Why hurt myself when I've never purposely hurt anyone? What lights me up? Keeping my head clear, embracing every human and situation. That's where the real joy is. Worried about how future generations will see you? Think about this. Future folks will be a lot like the ones now, who you might not even like. And guess what? They're all temporary. Who cares about their opinion? Toss me anywhere and I'll stay calm and grounded. A change in location shouldn't shake my soul. Is there any good reason to be scared or thrown off? Whatever happens to you is just a human experience, just like whatever happens to an ox is an ox thing. If everything falls within nature's plan, why stress? If an external issue bothers you, it's not the issue, but your thoughts about it. You can change that mindset right now. If something internal bugs you, change that perspective. If you're upset about not doing what you think is right, why not just do it? If something stops you, then it's out of your control, and that's okay. If life feels not worth living without doing that thing, then accept your exit gracefully, understanding that sometimes obstacles are just a part of the game. Remember, when your mind is focused and content with its choices, it's unbeatable, even if it's just being stubborn. Now imagine if it had reason on its side. A clear, passion-free mind is like a fortress. It's the safest place we can turn to when things get tough. If you don't know this, you're missing out. If you do know, but don't use it, that's just sad. Stick to the facts. Heard someone's gossiping about you? That's their words, not an actual harm. Notice your kid looks sick. That's what you see, but it doesn't mean they're in danger. Always stick to what you directly experience and don't add drama, or go a step further and be the person who's in the know about everything. Found a bitter cucumber? Toss it. Thorns in your path? Walk around. It's that simple. Don't waste time asking why they exist. If a carpenter's workshop has wood scraps, you wouldn't question it. Nature doesn't have an outside to toss things. The beauty of it? Nature recycles. Old and decaying stuff gets transformed. Nature works with what it has, in its own space, not needing anything more. Stay active in your deeds. Be clear in your words. Focus your thoughts. Keep the drama inside and outside of you at bay. And don't overbook your life. Keep some free moments. So what if people hurt you, insult you, or hate on you? How does that stop you from being the best version of yourself? Think of a clear spring. If someone curses it, the water still flows fresh. If dirt is thrown in, the spring cleanses itself. Want that kind of resilience? Practice freedom, contentment, simplicity, and humility every chance you get. If you don't grasp the world, you're lost in it. If you can't see the world's purpose, you won't understand your role. Yet many of us chase approval from those equally lost. Why seek validation from someone constantly down on themselves? Why impress someone full of regrets? Your thoughts should not just harmonize with your environment, but with the vast consciousness that's everywhere, waiting for those open to it. Remember, bad actions don't destabilize the world. People's mistakes only harm them and can be fixed when they choose. Consider the sun. Its light spreads everywhere without being lost or diluted. Your understanding should be just as illuminating, never wavering in the face of challenges. Fear of death. It's either a fear of the unknown or a chained existence. But life either ends without pain or evolves differently. We exist for one another. Help when you can and be patient always. Keep your intentions and actions direct, aiming for mutual understanding with those around you. Book 9. Living authentically in a complex world. When you do wrong, you're basically going against nature. We're wired to help each other, not hurt. So when you break this natural order, you're disrespecting the universe itself. Lying, same deal. Nature's all about truth. If you lie, you're not only deceiving someone, but you're also challenging the universe's truth. Even if it's an accidental lie, you're still misaligned with the world's rhythm. Chasing pleasure and avoiding pain can also be problematic. Ever notice how sometimes bad folks seem happy and good ones seem to struggle? Well, if you're constantly chasing happiness, you'll end up doing some dodgy stuff, and that's another type of disrespect. Life throws good and bad our way, and it's on us to handle both with grace. The best exit would be leaving life without ever having lied, been fake, or overly indulgent. But if you've experienced these and then leave, well, that's a solid second best. If you're still sticking with your vices, when will you learn? An unhealthy mind is like a disease, worse than any flu. Death isn't something to fear. It's natural, just like growing up, getting wrinkles, or having kids. So, why fear death more than getting your first gray hair? A mindful person views death just like any other stage of life. It's like waiting for a baby to be born, only in reverse. If you need another way to see it, think about leaving behind the drama and the people who just don't get it. If anything, The sweet relief of not dealing with life's daily hassles might be the silver lining. But always remember, even if people bug you, it's on you to treat them right. If only everyone saw the world like you do, then maybe, just maybe, sticking around would be more tempting. When you screw up, you're essentially messing with yourself. Acting unfairly, that's on you, buddy, because you're just dragging yourself down. It's not just about what you do, but sometimes what you don't do that counts. Sitting out can be as wrong as messing up. Here's the deal. If you've got clarity in your thoughts, your actions are for the good of everyone and you'll chill with whatever life throws at you. You're golden. Ditch those wild imaginations, rein in those wants, and keep your desires in check. Stay in control of your actions and thoughts. Now consider this. All creatures share something in common. Like everything with earth in it gets pulled towards the earth, liquids come together, and air kind of does its thing unless something messes with it. And fire, it goes upwards, connecting with its fiery family. The drier something is, the faster it catches fire, because there's less stuff to stop it from burning. So with that logic, everything that's got a hint of intelligence should come together too. Bees swarm, cows hang in herds, baby birds get fed, and even animals have their squads. Humans. We've got societies, friendships, families, group hangouts, treaties, and sometimes wars. Even stars in the vast sky, miles apart, seem connected in some unseen way. But here's the irony. Humans, the supposedly smartest species, often forget this natural pull towards each other. Even when we try to avoid it, nature's got its hooks in us. Just watch and see. I mean, it's easier to find a piece of earth that doesn't touch another piece than a person who's genuinely isolated from everyone else. People, nature, and the universe have their seasons, their times to shine. But if we're saying only plants bear fruit, that's missing the bigger picture. Just like a tree, our minds yield ideas and create things similar to them. If you can, guide the lost ones back on track. If you can't, let it slide. After all, even the universe gives them breaks, sometimes helping them out big time. You can show that same kindness. Don't work like the world's against you or wanting pity. Keep your eyes on the prize. Act in harmony with everyone else, the way a community should. Today, I kicked all my drama to the curb. It wasn't lurking outside, it was my mindset that needed a change. History repeats, my friend. What we see today, same old, from back in the days of our ancestors. Objects don't judge themselves or us. So, who's the judge? It's our perceptions, our mindset. It's not about sitting idle. It's what you do or don't do that defines the good and bad in us. Our choices, actions. That's where our true values show. A stone thrown up isn't sad about falling back down. It's just doing its thing, like everything else. Want to know what makes people tick? Dive deep into their core beliefs, and you'll realize who you're worried about, impressing, and why. Change is the only constant. You're evolving every day, and so is the entire universe. If someone's wronged you, leave that baggage with them. Don't carry it. Ending a project, pausing for a moment, or changing your views isn't a bad thing. Think about the different phases of your life. Childhood, teenage years, adulthood, the golden years. Each shift was like a mini ending. Was that so scary? Remember the times under your grandparents, mom or dad. You've seen so many changes. Why fear the next one? Check your mindset, the bigger picture of the world, and get where others are coming from. Make sure your actions are fair. Understand that you're a small piece of a big puzzle, and try to figure out if people act out of ignorance or real understanding. Remember, their mindset isn't so different from yours. Every action you take should be a part of the community's bigger story. If what you're doing doesn't contribute to that story, it's like rebelling against your own narrative. Kids bicker, then play. We fuss over the fleeting. Everything in life is temporary, kind of like scenes from a haunting movie. Break things down, remove the fluff, and see them for what they are. Then ask yourself, how long will this last in the grand scheme of things? You've faced a ton of stress because you weren't okay with simply being. Time to let that go when people badmouth or despise you step into their shoes. You'll see they aren't so different and aren't worth the stress. Still, show them kindness. Deep down, we're all buddies. Even the universe sends them little nudges and signs. Life's patterns, they keep cycling. Whether there's a grand design behind it or things just happen, either way, roll with it. Soon, we'll all return to the earth, which will also evolve. Change breeds change, on and on. Think of the endless transformations, like never-ending waves. It'll help you value what lasts and let go of the fleeting. Life's like a powerful river. It sweeps everything along. But look at people engrossed in politics or playing philosopher, just rambling. Can we really change what others think? Without that, aren't we just pretending? Look at history's big names. Did they get it right? No need to copy them. Philosophy, keep it real, keep it humble. From a bird's eye view, look at humanity, our ceremonies, journeys, birth and death routines. Think of past, future, and distant cultures. Many don't know you, and soon many will forget. Those cheering for you today might criticize you tomorrow. Legacy? Overrated. Stay calm when external chaos strikes. And internally, be fair, act socially. That's your true nature. You can clear out so many things that stress you out. It's all in how you see them. Imagine grasping the universe or time's eternity. Notice how quickly things change. Compare the brief moment between birth and death with the vast time before and after life. Everything you see, temporary. Even the folks watching it all go down are on borrowed time. The really old guy, he ends up just like the one who left too soon. What drives people? What values are they chasing? Think of seeing their intentions naked. When they praise or criticize, what's their real game? Change isn't a loss. Nature thrives on it. History shows it's always been this way and always will. All things break down. Water, rocks, gold. They all return to basics. Your breath is also just another transition. Tired of the grind and the drama? Seen it before, right? Dig deep, and it's all familiar. Simplify your relationship with the universe. Whether you ponder for a lifetime or a moment, it's the same. Did someone do you wrong? That's on them. Or maybe they didn't really do you wrong. Everything in existence either has an intelligent source with parts harmoniously working together, or it's just chaos. Either way, what's the fuss about? Periodically self-check. Am I genuine? Am I blending with the herd or leading with authenticity? When you ponder about the divine, consider, if the gods are powerless, why bother? Praying? If they're powerful, why not seek inner strength and understanding instead of superficial wishes? Perhaps they've empowered us already. And if so, isn't it wiser to harness that power responsibly rather than pining for what's not in hand? Maybe, just maybe, they're helping more than you realize. Redirect your prayers to personal growth and see the change. Think of Epicurus. Even when he was sick, he didn't complain or shift his focus. He stuck to discussing life's mysteries. Regardless of life's curveballs, stay anchored in wisdom. Tune out trivialities. Concentrate on your current tasks and the intention behind them. Ever found yourself annoyed by someone's audacity or bad behavior? Understand that such personalities are a part of the world's fabric. Instead of fuming, use the tools nature provided: patience, understanding, and perspective. Mistakes, they're just misplaced intentions. Ask yourself, where's the real harm? Most perceived wrongs are just in our heads. When someone seems ignorant, perhaps they were never enlightened. If someone betrays your trust, reevaluate your judgment and expectations. Lastly, when you extend kindness, do it selflessly, expecting, so that you're on the right track. Book 10. Finding Balance in Being. Hey, self, ever wonder why it's so challenging to stay genuine, transparent, and undivided? Why not find satisfaction in the present moment without longing for more? Can't we appreciate what's around us, recognizing everything as a gift from the cosmos? Consider the idea that everything unfolds according to a greater plan, even if we don't always see it. Here's some advice. Understand what truly aligns with your nature. If it resonates with your essence, embrace it, unless it disrupts your inner peace. And remember, we're social creatures by design. Keep these principles close and the trivial worries will fade. Life has its ups and downs. Ask yourself, are you equipped to handle them? If you are, face them head on. If not, know they'll pass. But remember, your perspective can shift almost any obstacle into an opportunity. See someone struggling, lend a hand, guide them. If you're unable to help, don't be too hard on yourself. Everyone's on their own journey. Whatever life presents you with, believe that it's part of a grand design that's been in motion since the beginning of time. Embrace this idea, and you'll find harmony in existence. So whether we're talking about a universe made of tiny particles or a connected praying, if they're powerful, why not seek inner strength and understanding instead of superficial wishes? Perhaps they've empowered us already. And if so, isn't it wiser to harness that power responsibly rather than pining for what's not in hand? Maybe, just maybe, they're helping more than you realize. Redirect your prayers to personal growth and see the change. Think of Epicurus. Even when he was sick, he didn't complain or shift his focus. He stuck to discussing life's mysteries. Regardless of life's curveballs, stay anchored in wisdom. Tune out trivialities. Concentrate on your current tasks and the intention behind them. Ever found yourself annoyed by someone's audacity or bad behavior? Understand that such personalities are a part of the world's fabric. Instead of fuming, use the tools nature provided: patience, understanding, and perspective. Mistakes? They're just misplaced intentions. Ask yourself, where's the real harm? Most perceived wrongs are just in our heads. When someone seems ignorant, perhaps they were never enlightened. If someone betrays your trust, reevaluate your judgment and expectations. Lastly, when you extend kindness, do it selflessly, expecting, so that you're on the right track. Book 10. Finding Balance in Being. Hey, self. Ever wonder why it's so challenging to stay genuine, transparent, and undivided? Why not find satisfaction in the present moment without longing for more? Can't we appreciate what's around us, recognizing everything as a gift from the cosmos? Consider the idea that everything unfolds according to a greater plan, even if we don't always see it. Here's some advice. Understand what truly aligns with your nature. If it resonates with your essence, embrace it, unless it disrupts your inner peace. And remember, we're social creatures by design. Keep these principles close and the trivial worries will fade. Life has its ups and downs. Ask yourself, are you equipped to handle them? If you are, face them head on. If not, know they'll pass. But remember, your perspective can shift almost any obstacle into an opportunity. See someone struggling, lend a hand, guide them. If you're unable to help, don't be too hard on yourself. Everyone's on their own journey. Whatever life presents you with, believe that it's part of a grand design that's been in motion since the beginning of time. Embrace this idea, and you'll find harmony in existence. So whether we're talking about a universe made of tiny particles or a connected system, the bottom line is, I'm a tiny part of a vast whole. This, I'm more likely to accept whatever comes my way, knowing it's for the greater good. After all, if something's right for the whole system, it's probably right for me. Now, all things in this universe will eventually come to an end or change. But if change is a natural process, why stress about it? It's not like everything's falling apart, it's just transforming into something new. Remember, everything breaks down into its basic elements and then reshapes. It's like recycling on a cosmic scale. The labels we give ourselves, good, honest, balanced, they mean something. Stick to them. Don't just use them for show. Being rational means paying attention and avoiding careless mistakes. Equanimity is about willingly accepting life's highs and lows. And being magnanimous is all about putting your mind over trivial matters. Stick with these labels, and your life's trajectory will shift for the better. If you find yourself slipping from these ideals, it's okay. Find your way back. And if you can't, maybe it's time to reconsider where you stand. But always remember, life's short, so why stick around in a toxic scenario? Live up to these values without needing validation. Also, always remember our purpose. Just as a fig tree produces figs, a dog acts as a dog. We, as humans, have our roles. Align with that, and you'll be on the right track. Look, daily challenges will keep trying to make you forget what you believe in. Often you get so caught up in the daily grind that you forget the bigger picture. But remember, you should do things in a way that not only deals with what's in front of you, but also grows your understanding and confidence. And you don't need to show off your knowledge, just live it. When are you going to truly value simplicity and understanding? You know, a spider feels awesome catching a fly, just like someone might feel great catching bigger prey. But if you really dig deep, aren't these all the same, based on their mindset? Focus on understanding how everything is interconnected and evolving. Nothing builds resilience like this understanding. The person who gets this perspective has a detachment from trivialities. He sees life's bigger picture and commits to doing the right thing, regardless of what others think or say. He's content with acting justly and accepting what comes his way, letting go of needless distractions. If you're unsure about something, why panic? Assess the, or am I too wrapped up in my own physical feelings and desires? If you run from responsibility, you're avoiding what's meant for you. Laws and norms guide us, and if you resist or get too emotional about them, you're dodging life. Being overly upset or scared is basically going against the flow of life. Think about how life starts. A man plants a seed and walks away. Then nature takes over, creating something incredible from something so tiny. The same goes for how our body processes food and transforms it into energy and life. Look at these amazing processes that happen quietly inside us. It's like witnessing an invisible force, guiding and driving everything around and within us. Always remember, the situations we face today have happened before and will likely repeat in the future. Think about the social circles of the past: Hadrian, Antoninus, Alexander, and others. The stories were the same, just with different players. If someone's upset or complaining, picture them as a pig that's freaking out before it's cooked. Sounds funny, right? Remember, only we humans have the choice to accept or resist life's flow. Everything else just goes with it. Before you dread something, think, would this matter if I were about to die? When someone ticks you off, look inward. We all have flaws. Maybe you overvalue money, chase pleasure, or crave validation. Understanding that can cool your anger. Remember, most people are just reacting to their circumstances. If you can, help change those circumstances for them. Ever met a wise person or a role model? For every wise one, there are others you may not resonate with. Think of them. And when you consider your own life, think of the countless others who've been in your shoes. Where are they now? Most are forgotten, showing how fleeting life is. How do you want to spend your short time here? What are you waiting for? Everything's just a learning experience after all. Keep pushing until you adapt and grow, much like how a strong stomach digests everything, or how fire turns anything into light and heat. Make sure no one can truthfully say you're fake or mean. If they do, it should be a lie. Decide to be the best version of yourself. What's stopping you? Ask yourself, what's the most rational response to life's challenges? You have the power to act rationally, so no excuses. Your greatest joy should come from acting in harmony with your nature, and you can do that anywhere. Natural elements like water or a rolling cylinder might get blocked, but your mind, it can navigate anything. Embrace that power. Everything else only affects your body or is in your head. Unless it makes you a worse person, it's not truly harmful. And remember, nothing that harms the community is good for you. Anything that doesn't disrupt the natural order doesn't disrupt the community or you. So, chill and ride the wave. When you truly grasp life's essence, even the simplest advice is enough to keep you grounded. Think of it this way. We're all like leaves, fleeting and temporary. They come and go with the wind. Your kids, your friends, even those throwing shade. They're leaves in the grand tree of life. And real talk, nobody stays forever. Even the most loved will have someone secretly relieved when they're gone, thinking, phew, no more endless advice. That's for the genuinely good-hearted. As for the rest of us, there might be a line of folks waiting for that exit, hoping it gives them an edge. When that moment comes, instead of clinging, think, if people are looking forward to my exit, why hang around? But leave gracefully, no bad vibes. Make your exit as natural and peaceful as drifting into sleep. Every time you see someone take action, take a moment. Why did they do that? But always start with self-reflection first. The core of who you are isn't just the physical, it's the spirit, the fire inside that propels you. So when you're taking stock, don't just think about the body you're in. Your body's just a vessel. It's the inner you, that hidden force, that's truly steering the ship. Keep focusing on that essence because that's what truly defines you. Always be in tune with that driving force, whether it's passion, ambition, or simply the heart. That's the real game. Book 11, Discovering Your True Self. The rational mind has some pretty cool features. It's self-aware, can analyze itself, and can mold itself as it wants. Unlike plants or animals, we get to enjoy the results of our own mental labor. No matter when or where life's journey ends, the mind knows its purpose and fulfills it. Think about it. Someone at 40 with a bit of insight has basically seen it all because of life's repetitive patterns: kindness, honesty, humility, and self-worth. These are as essential to our soul as justice is to law. Imagine breaking down a beautiful song into individual notes. Would you vibe to just one note? Think about dancing. Would a single move blow you away? This is a way to simplify things, to see them for what they are. Do this for everything except when it comes to being a good person. That's the whole package. Having the strength and readiness to face whatever life throws, including death, is cool, but don't just be stubborn about it. Do it thoughtfully, convincingly, without any drama. Every good thing you do for others, that's your reward. Remember that. What's your main job in life? Being a decent human. This involves understanding the universe and understanding yourself. Plays and tragedies, they used to be like life's mirror, reminding us of real-life situations. They tell us, this stuff happens, deal with it. There's wisdom in their lines, reminding us to chill, to accept life, to reap its benefits. Comedy, too, initially was all about keeping it real, calling out BS and making sure people stayed grounded. But then comedy changed, becoming more about getting cheap laughs. Yeah, there are still gems of wisdom here and there, but what's the bigger picture? The realization you're already in the best place to reflect and learn. Embrace it. When you cut a branch from a tree, you're not just severing it from its neighboring branch, but the whole tree. Similarly, when you distance yourself from someone, you're not just separating from that one person, but from the whole human connection. We do this when we hate or ignore someone, not realizing we're also detaching from the whole social vibe. But here's the cool part. Just as a branch can be grafted back onto a tree, we can reconnect. But if you keep disconnecting, it gets harder each time to vibe with the whole again. People might try to derail you from your path, but don't let them mess with your chill or your kind vibes. Getting mad or veering off course. Both are kind of bailing on who you're meant to be. Art is inspired by nature, right? So the universe being the ultimate form of nature is kind of the ultimate artist. This universe art is all about balance, where things like fairness and virtues fit in. If we're too hung up on insignificant stuff or get swayed easily, we miss the big picture. If something's stressing you out, maybe you're giving it too much power. Chill on it, and it won't control your feels. Your soul's at its best when it's chill, not stretching out or shrinking back, just glowing in its own truth. Someone's got beef with you? That's their deal. Your deal? Make sure you're not the one causing drama. If someone's throwing shade, keep your cool and be kind. If you need to correct them, do it with respect, not ego. Live so that when the universe peeps at you, it sees someone content doing their thing and vibing with the world. People play games, right? They'll big you up one moment, put you down the next, try to one-up you or butter you up. It's all just a dance of ego. Just keep your vibe genuine. When someone says, "I'm going to be honest with you," why the preamble? Actions speak. Your true character is like an open book. It's like those unspoken feelings in a budding romance. It's all in the eyes. If you're authentic and kind, people should sense it, like noticing someone's distinct perfume in a room. Pretending to be straightforward? That's just uncomfortable. Insincere friendships, the absolute worst. Authentic vibes, clear as day in your eyes. The best approach to life, it's all about perspective. Stay balanced when faced with trivialities. It's crucial to understand that situations don't dictate our reactions. We do. And if some unwarranted beliefs sneak into your mindset, you have the power to challenge them. Life is fleeting. Embrace what resonates with you and let go of what doesn't. Always strive for your personal best. When reflecting on experiences and reactions, consider 1. We're all human, interconnected by nature. Sometimes leadership is needed. Dive deep into the bigger picture. If things aren't random, then there's an intended harmony in the universe. 2. Picture others in everyday scenarios. Consider the convictions they may be bound by and their motivations. 3. If they're acting appropriately, accept it. If not, perhaps they're simply misguided. Nobody likes being labeled or misunderstood. 4. Reality check. Nobody's perfect, not even you. Everyone has moments of weakness or uncertainty. 5. And truly, do we always grasp the full story behind someone's actions? Passing judgment requires knowing all the angles. 6. If you ever feel overwhelmed, a gentle reminder. Life is but a fleeting moment. In the grand scheme, everything is transient. 7. What ruffles us isn't always others' actions. It's our reactions and perceptions. Change that view and the anger fades. Worried about others' wrongs reflecting on you? Unless you hold only shame. As bad, you'll err too. 8. Ponder this. Isn't the annoyance or anger from people's actions often worse than the act itself? And 9. A genuine good vibe is unbreakable. Even facing adversity, remain warm-hearted. If someone tries pissing you off and you stay kind and gently correct them, what can they truly do? Point out their error like you'd guide a kid going astray. Hey, that's not the way. We're wired better than this. You aren't harming me but yourself. Gently remind them, referencing nature's harmony, and always approach without bitterness or condescension. Whether alone or in a crowd, guide with genuine care. Remember these 9 principles as if they're essential life lessons. It's high time you live with purpose. Avoid the pitfalls of trying to please everyone or getting upset over every slight. Both attitudes aren't productive. When anger starts to build, remind yourself. Losing your temper isn't showing strength. True power lies in maintaining composure and understanding. Both pain and anger reveal our vulnerabilities. Succumbing to them, that's not resilience. Here's an additional piece of advice. Expecting those who've done wrong to suddenly act right is unrealistic. However, letting them act poorly towards others while expecting you'll be untouched, that's both irrational and unfair. There are also 4 major pitfalls that you should be ready to address when they arise. 1. When you catch yourself overthinking, remind yourself that it's unnecessary. 2. When you feel isolated or against others, remind yourself of the importance of community and connections. 3. If you're about to say something that's not genuine, pause. Speaking your truth is vital. 4. If you're beating yourself up over something, that's a sign you're letting your body's fleeting desires override your more logical, higher-thinking self. Think about it. The elements in your body, like the air and fire, naturally want to rise, but they stay grounded. Similarly, the earth and water elements in you want to sink, but are held up. They all comply with the universe's design. So why then does our mind, with no physical constraints, often rebel against its natural state of harmony? Whenever we lean into anger, jealousy, or any negative emotion, we're going against our true nature. Also, when we're not at peace with what's happening around us, we're essentially questioning the universe's design. Remember, our higher self isn't just about being fair. It's also about respecting the grander scheme of things and being content with it. Having a consistent purpose in life is key. It's not just about having any purpose. It should be something that benefits everyone, something promoting community and togetherness. By focusing on this shared goal, you'll ensure that your actions remain consistent. Take a moment to remember the story of the country mouse and the city mouse. The always anxious city mouse is a reminder that sometimes simpler is better. It's all about perspective, like in Sparta, where they reserved shaded seats for visitors during events while the locals just sat wherever. Socrates had unique insights about life. He saw popular opinion as baseless fears, comparing them to monsters in children's tales. Once he turned down a king's invitation because he didn't want to owe a favor he couldn't repay. And in times of personal adversity, like when his wife took his cloak, he just wore a piece of skin and continued his day without a care. His friends were embarrassed, but Socrates stood as a testament to authenticity. The ancients often looked to the past for guidance. In ancient Ephesus, they suggested reflecting on past virtuous individuals for inspiration. The Pythagoreans, on the other hand, looked upwards, starting their days by gazing at the sky. The consistent patterns and unshielded brilliance of stars served as reminders of the broader picture. In all endeavors, before guiding others, make sure you've mastered your own path. Whether in writing or in life, it's essential to practice what you preach. In some situations, you might feel voiceless, as if bound by constraints. But remember that this doesn't define your essence. I found humor in the midst of such thoughts. You'll find that being genuine and principled might attract criticism. Wishing for the impossible, like expecting a fig in winter, sets you up for disappointment. It's like longing for moments that are past. Every time you embrace a loved one, Epictetus would say, remember the fragility of life. Some might argue that's a morbid thought, but to Epictetus, Acknowledging nature's cycles isn't negative. It's like understanding that crops will inevitably be harvested. Everything changes. Grapes ripen and eventually become raisins. They don't disappear, they transform into something different. Your autonomy, your ability to choose, and no one can steal that from you. Epictetus emphasized discernment in our decisions. Our actions should be contextually sound, socially beneficial, and reflect genuine value. Concerning desires, show restraint. And regarding things outside our control, let them be. The real discussion isn't about trivialities. It's about discerning wisdom from folly. Socrates once pondered, what's truly valuable in our interactions? Depth or shallowness? If it's meaningful connections and genuine understanding we seek, then why let minor disagreements overshadow our shared humanity? Embrace wisdom, discern truth from folly, and cherish the depth of genuine human connections. Book 12, Embracing the Now. Skip the detours. Whatever you're chasing can be yours now, if you just allow it. Forget past regrets and quit worrying about the future. Focus on the now, living with purpose and fairness. Be content with what you have. It's where you're meant to be. Speak your truth and act righteously. Don't let negativity, peer pressure, or physical discomfort distract you. When it's your time to leave this world, make sure you've truly lived by your core values. This way you'll truly belong in this universe. No more feeling lost or being shocked by everyday life or relying on anyone else's approval. If you adopt this perspective, you'll find peace. Why obsess over superficial things like clothes, houses, or fame when they're just surface level? You're made of three things: a body, soul, and mind. The first two are your responsibility to care for. But the last one, intelligence. That's the real you. So, cut out the noise. Dismiss what others say or do, past mistakes, future anxieties, or any physical discomforts. Let your mind be pure and independent. If you center yourself focusing only on the present, you'll find harmony. This way, the time you have left will be spent with clarity, grace, and aligned with your true nature. Isn't it weird how we care more about what others think of us than how we feel about ourselves? Imagine if someone, like a wise teacher, asked us to voice every single thought we had. We couldn't handle it. We're way more concerned with the neighborhood gossip than our own self-worth. Have you ever thought about why some good people, even those super connected to a higher power, just vanish when they die? If it was meant to be different, wouldn't the universe or the gods or whatever have sorted it out? If it were natural or fair, it'd be happening. But since it's not, maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. Arguing about it is like picking a fight with the universe. And the universe, being as awesome as it is, wouldn't mess things up. Try stuff even if you think you'll suck at it. Like, ever notice how your left hand, which is kind of useless for most tasks, can actually do some things better with practice? It's all about getting out of your comfort zone. Think about what state you want to be in when it's your time to go. Reflect on how short life is, the vastness of time, and how fragile everything is. Strip things down to their essence. Understand why stuff happens, what makes us happy or sad, what death means, and what fame really is. Realize it's all in your head. When it comes to living by your beliefs, be like that versatile fighter who uses their whole body, not like that gladiator who drops his weapon and gets defeated. Get to the core of things. Split them up into what they're made of, how they look, and why they exist. Realize the power we have. We can choose to do things that align with the universe and accept whatever comes our way. And don't blame anyone for anything. No one's messing up on purpose. Don't be that guy who's shocked by the everyday stuff. Life's unpredictable. Roll with it. So, we've got three options. Either everything's predestined, there's some higher power looking out for us, or it's all just chaos. If it's all set in stone, why fight it? If there's some higher power, then work on being someone that power would want to help. If it's just chaos, well, at least you've got your own sense of direction. And if life throws you into a storm, let it take everything but your core beliefs. Look, if a lamp can shine brightly till its last moment, why can't your truth, fairness, and self-control do the same till you check out? Before judging someone who seems to have messed up, think, do I really know the full story? Even if they did mess up, who's to say they aren't beating themselves up over it? You can't be mad at someone for acting according to their nature. It's like being mad at a fig tree for having juice. So if someone's pushing your buttons, focus on fixing your reaction. Simple rules. If it feels wrong, don't do it. If it's not true, don't say it. And always ask yourself, why am I doing or saying this? What's the real reason? Always break down your perceptions. Ask what's behind the surface. What's the form, the substance, the purpose, and when will it end? Remember, you've got something inside you stronger than all the outside influences. When emotions bubble up, ask, what's really going on in my head right now? Always. Act thoughtfully, with a clear purpose and for the greater good. One day, you, everyone you know, and everything you see will be gone. It's the nature of things to change and make way for the new. Keep in mind, everything is about perspective, and that's in your control. If things get rough, shift your viewpoint, and you'll find calm waters again, like a sailor turning the corner to find a peaceful bay. Look, every experience, every moment has its time to end. And when it does, it's not bad that it ended. Just like a show, when it's over, it's over. Just because you finished watching doesn't mean it was bad. Life's kinda like that. When it's your time, it's not a bad thing. It's just how the universe rolls. Everything works in sync with the universe. So if the universe thinks it's time, then it's probably for the best. That's just how things vibe. Here's a cheat sheet for life. Whatever you do it with thought and fairness. If something happens to you, remember, it's either by chance or there's a bigger plan in play. Don't waste a time blaming luck or getting mad at the universe. Think about the journey of everything, from its beginning to its end. If you suddenly got a bird's eye view of life on Earth, you'd see we're all just a blip in time. Flying high and looking down, you'll see the same thing repeatedly, a fleeting moment in the universe. Remember, our troubles often come from overthinking. Ditch that mindset, and you're golden. The universe runs on its own rhythm, and people will do what they'll do. Remember, every event is just another chapter in a vast story. And the bond between us all? It's not about blood. It's about shared understanding. Everything boils down to perspective. We're all just riding the wave of the present, so don't sweat the past or future. Ever thought about famous people from the past who made a big fuss? Where are they now? Just tales we tell, or forgotten entirely. Remember those who sought the high life in places like Bayeux or Capriency. What about those who chased glory and fame? At the end of the day, all those pursuits and drama just fade into history. Every time you get caught up in the daily drama or the rat race, take a moment, think of the bigger picture, and ask yourself, is it worth the hustle? Embrace every opportunity with wisdom and grace. As we conclude our journey through the profound passages of Meditations, it's hard not to reflect upon the timeless wisdom Marcus Aurelius has gifted us. If his insights resonated with you, or if you found a moment of solace in our shared exploration, we hope you'll continue this journey with us. While the echoes of the past guide our content, it's the support from seekers like you that lights our path forward. Dive deeper into these realms of thought by joining our Patreon community, the link to which you'll find below. Every gesture of support not only uplifts our spirit, but also ensures that we continue to bring forth more treasures from the annals of history and philosophy. Until our paths cross again, may you continue to find wisdom in unexpected places and moments of clarity in the stillness of thought.